I'm going to sum all of this up. I read to you some of the meaning of F.O.I. and also the philosophy of Islamic law. I'm going to sum it all up. Um, it was ordained that we come over here. It was all predicted and foreseen that we come over here in this part of the world, and that we, in a sense, was placed behind enemy lines, and we had to go to sleep so we would pose no immediate threat, so we could plant ourselves and plant the seeds of righteousness over here, because it's a battle between good and evil. By the Most High being the Most High designed all of this to rid himself of a disease, and purify us. So hell is a process, also a condition, but it's also a process to purify. So we can raise ourselves up in heaven, reach a new plateau in the manifestation of the Most High. It's all a process. So I don't hate the Caucasian, but God hates him, because he's trying to take God's spot. So he's going against God. So God also loves him, because God is trying to give him a way out. So God is going to win this war. Some people say, well, don't call him God. Well, a lot of people call the Most High God, but to be precise, Allah is going to win. And we just got to recognize who Allah is. People with melanin were here first. When we say melanin, we talking about carbon-based melanin. And we're not going to go into that teaching. But if you don't understand, you say, well, there are bad, some, like Alex Jones. Alex Jones, he wanted to bring back America where it used to be at. And where it used to be at was we were slaves, we couldn't vote, But now the spotlight all over the planet is on what the black man does here in America. Because people all over the world are suffering from the dictates of their leaders, what they call leaders. But in my last video, I was telling you that we bow down. You have no leaders. The masses, the general people, are the leaders. There are no kings and queen dictatorships. The people are queens and kings in their individual settings, in their homes. The man is the head, and the Most High is the head of the man. The mother is the helper, and the children are the subjects until they get of age. But they're subject to dictatorships. They follow the rules of the household. And then on your street and block, the elders. If you notice how things going now, they used to have TV shows coming on called Father Knows Best, and you would see the father, the head of the house, you know. Then gradually they start making the father seem stupid, like the Simpsons and stuff like that. And the elders, you used to say they used to have programs on where grandpa and grandma used to be people of wisdom. Now we got Alzheimer's and all types of disease, and we're going into nursing homes. And once you get into those group settings, all y'all start acting alike. All of us start acting alike. You know, senile. You know, I'm fortunate enough that still my mother, she's not into no home like that, and she's trying to stay strong. That's because she had the teachings of Islam. She's 90 years old, and she also was a metaphysics student. Now she's a truth student, but she always trying to stay in tune with the Most High. You know. See, nowadays you got to cure yourself, and the scriptures and the science of mind is what you got to study. And the teachings of the Nation of Islam, you know, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad got a book out, The Fall of America. He wrote long before what's happening now. You know, they was back there in the 30s, man. So, in conclusion of this, we talked about Sharia law, and they say Sharia law is bad. They be telling you about what's going on over there in the Middle East. It's only a couple of Middle Easterners that's Muslims, you know, compared to Africa and China and Malaysia and those spots. That's where you got the Muslims at. Remember Genghis Khan? It was some of his relatives, Genghis Khan's relatives, that was Muslims. I forget which one of his grandchildren was one of his sons was a Muslim that practiced Islam, that took that into that part of China and Malaysia, the Mongolians. And you got Caucasian Muslims in Russia. And you got some Caucasian Muslim here. The Shriners. You know, the Shriners, they practice Islam. The one with the fez on. You know, they practice aspects of Islam. You don't see him even talking about the Shriners as being Muslims. You know, Muslims. You know. So, don't believe the hype when they tell you about how the Arabs, now some of those Arabs over there, they confused right now. You know. That's why there's all that hell over there. Because they went off their square. You know, they always did have problems over there in what y'all call the Middle East, what used to be Africa. You know, we're trying to get on the right path. But way back in Kemet, even though they might have called it something else, uh, they were practicing Islam. It might have been under another name. Jesus was practicing Islam. He called it the way. You know, Moses was practicing Islam. You know, uh, they might have called it something different or in another dialect or in another language. Christianity, aspects of that is Islam. You know, so they try to twist it all around and make you think it's something new, but it's not. All of it's Islam, brother. It's all in all. Everything is everything. Peace.